What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Recently, this just happened, it caught me off guard. On NXT on Tuesday, Mandy Rose put up her NXT Women's Championship on the line against Roxanne Perez, who won the Iron Survivor Challenge at NXT Deadline. And I was just like, I thought they was going to do the titles at New Year's Evil. Okay? But they said, no, we're going to do this tonight. And then, come to find out, Roxanne Perez wins the title. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, what's going on? Random. I expected Mandy to lose to Roxanne Perez, but I expected to do it in 2023.
Not on a random NXT show.
Exactly. I'm just like, wasn't prepared for that at all. So this one I had to go back and watch. I would actually sit there and watch New Year's Evil, but I had to go back and watch that one. Come to find out that Mandy Rose was...
It says, show me them titties.
was released due to some risque fan time content. It says right here that I'm looking at on WrestleZone, and it was saying that according to Fightful Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful Select, the former WWE NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose was released by the company today due to content she posted on her fan time page. So now is fan time something different, or is that still OnlyFans? They just call it fan time.
No, something different.
Something different. Okay, so to make sure to clear that up. Sapp states that WWE officials felt they were put in a tough position due to the type of content she was posting behind a paywall. Some of this content reportedly leaked this weekend, which led to WWE finding out about it and led to her release. Now, according to what people were saying, that she was making a lot of money, which I believe it.
That's what I was about to say. A lot of folks, I've seen folks saying she was allegedly making more from this than she was from her contract, her WWE contract, which is wild to me. But I believe it. I could see that. Y'all marketed her as a sex siren. I'm confused. What did y'all think was going to happen?
She came out, actually said during a recent interview with Chris Van Vliet on Insight, Mandy Rose spoke about being compared to Trish Stratus and how something she appreciates. She says, I'm so grateful, and I feel like, everyone's different. Sometimes it matters how much talent you have. Obviously, we've seen that, and it's just some things just don't work out, or some things weren't meant to be. So I am really grateful for that. But deep down, I always knew I had this. I always knew I could always get better at it, right? Like everyone, you get better with time. You need the opportunity, right? So it's like, can't really show anything if you don't have the opportunity. So basically, going back of how, because I think her wrestling really has improved. She's not Eva fucking Marie. Okay, but the woman is beautiful. The woman is beautiful. And even Ember Moon said, she said, "Damn, we all can't be Mandy Rose." No. And she said that as a compliment, not like an insult. Like, damn, it's a beautiful fucking woman. So now here comes a hard question: Should WWE have fired Mandy Rose? Because now, I'm only going by allegedly. I didn't see all the pictures of that leaked. I know there was some naked pictures. I know there was some, according to allegedly, of her playing with dildos. And just doing very sexual shit behind a paywall that you had to pay for to get to. But that's her business. Now,
that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it's her body. She can do what she wants with it.
Yeah.
However, the rumors that I saw flying around were that her doing that type of content violates a contract they have with a toy company.
Mattel, yep.
and not that kind of toy.
No, I said Mattel.
Said Mattel from
yeah.
the jump. With Mattel, and it was, it's harmful to that brand because honestly, it would be hypocritical if it was like, okay, so we're going to market you in this certain light, and you go and you make hypersexual content and have people pay for it. Now, I can't speak to what she was actually doing because I didn't see any of the stuff.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of folks feel like it was a disproportionate response considering other things that have happened in the company and people are still around.
Yeah.
It's a thin line because it's like you can't objectify someone and then when they decide to take that and run with it, then it's like, oh, well, we could do it, but you can't do that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's really complicated. Honestly, I think a lot of folks that I saw generally were like, well, why didn't they just suspend her? Why didn't she just get like a chance to clean up the content? And then there was things coming out saying that they did talk to her about it and she didn't change it or stop it. So that's kind of the stuff that I'm curious about. Like, okay, so what were the steps here? Because it doesn't really go from, oh, we found out you have an OnlyFans or a fan timer. I think this was her website, and she was selling subscriptions.
Yeah.
It doesn't really go from, oh, we found out you had this to, we're going to fire you. Usually. There's usually some steps in between there, but who knows?
How about you, Brian?
So from what I gather in my information, so I gathered that she had it and then they knew about it and all this kind of stuff, but I think the reason why she got fired is because of simple fact that they couldn't profit off of it.
Yeah.
Remember when they told all them people to stop doing their video games because they wanted to profit off of it?
Yeah.
And when they couldn't, they fired them. So like the Zelina Vega situation, it's the same thing. They just couldn't profit off of it because she's had this for like a long time. And I guess one of the commenters or whatever on Twitter said that she did something and then she stopped it or deactivated her page. And then she said because WWE told her to tone it down. But then she kept doing it. And I guess now they told her, I guess since the leaks or whatever, they told her to either take it down or you're fired or something in that nature, I'm assuming. Because even when she released her statement or when she got released, she said, my page is still up, by the way. So I guess that's a sign of like they tried to take it down.
Now, to be fair, we got to be fair here that there are two different regimes that has been happening because Vince was there when he told everybody to shut the game and stuff down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said it, because if they couldn't profit off of it, especially when everybody was doing those, what was that site that Big E was doing? No, that Big E was doing where people pay him to say happy birthday to somebody.
Cameo.
Cameo, yeah. When they was doing stuff like that, he told everybody to shut that kind of stuff down. That was that Vince McMahon era. Then when Triple H got into power, it was more so like, hey, we can. Then all of a sudden, different YouTube channels and Twitch channels and those kind of platforms start showing back up again. Now, maybe also it could be a thing where they don't want another page thing to happen.
I mean,
you want to think so? I'm trying to find.
That was against her. That was not consensual. Not the word I'm looking for. She didn't release those herself.
Correct. But I'm saying, but neither. It's really hard to keep anything secret on the internet.
I mean,
but sometimes it's not necessarily on the internet. They're going into people's phones and taking.
And also, Mandy is doing this too. By the way, you got to be conscious of that too.
You mean like when you say Mandy's doing? You mean like she's?
Mandy is actually posting these
Yeah.
doing these to post while
Okay.
Paige just got leaked. So it's
Yeah,
kind of not
hers.
Paige's fault.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
Mandy
is
is
Yeah.
like purposefully like, I'm doing this on, like, this is what I'm doing to do it.
Uh huh.
because I saw somebody trying to compare it to that situation, and you know, some other people like underneath that comment were like, but she didn't leak that. Like she didn't put that out there. It was leaked without her knowledge or her consent. And this is essentially at this point a second career for her, for Mandy Rose. So I don't know. It's tricky because it's like somebody was like, "Oh, it's a PG company," and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I get that.
They are publicly traded.
No, they saying PG like as in like it's supposed to be mild, like milder content. It's not.
Yeah.
This is not the Attitude Era bra and panties matches, puppies. No, it's not. But y'all still, come on, we still selling sex here. Let's be honest. But also, it's the same thing that people always say. Oh well, how? Think of the children. What about? I didn't make this content for children.
Yeah. Well, that's why it is behind a paywall. So
Behind a paywall.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's to me, I'm really curious about what happened in between this, whether it was kind of like a keep it under the radar hush hush type thing, like they knew she was doing it, but they didn't but they was just like, so long as everything stays, you know, quiet, keep going. You can do what you want. Just don't say nothing. Kind of like I ain't see nothing. Kind of thing. Or if it was and then the leaks happen, and now, you know, the sponsors are going to see, because basically everybody's like, oh, if this was Vince, she wouldn't have been. Listen, if it's all about the bottom line.
If I say it affects the millionaires, man, it affects about that bottom line.
Just like somebody said, oh well, what about the Usos? They out here getting DUIs and driving cars on the bridges and shit, and not getting and they get the titles the next week. And I was like, the Usos sell merch. What's he gonna do with them? He not gonna let them go.
And that's Vince though. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's just like they don't feel like she's gonna hurt the bottom. To let her go is not gonna hurt their bottom line as much. It looks weird, but also it just looks it looks complicated in the time of, this is the time when Vince McMahon stepped down because he was accused of sexual misconduct.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if it looks, I guess it looks bad to a lot of folks, because like you have that going on. That's like a big scandal that rocked your company this year, and then you do this to one of your women wrestlers. But I don't know. To me, I think it sucks. But it's like,
I was really starting to get into Toxic Attraction, believe it or not.
I liked Mandy Rose in NXT far more than I did when she was on the main roster.
Yeah.
And I think it's a shame. I just don't know if that was the proper, like, if that was should have been the next course of action. Whether it should have been like, all right, listen, you got to chill on this content. Okay, we don't want to upset our sponsors. You don't want to breach any contracts you may have by doing content like this. So it's like, this is their final warning. We're going to make you drop the title now. And then we'll see what happens after that. But I don't know. It seemed like it went from 0 to 100. So I'm wondering if there was a 50 in there somewhere that we missed.
Yeah, it's a possibility that we could have missed 50. Possibly she could have said, "Fuck y'all, I ain't taking this down."
It's very possible. And if she was really making more money from that than she was from her contract, which is fucking wild to me. Honestly, how much were y'all paying this girl?
I'm about to say, you probably got to look at the underlying thing here. It's saying like how much they paying these women. Because
that's the real question. It's like, she had.
No, I'm gonna be honest. Mandy Rose probably just got a lot of fan subscriptions, because a lot of people like Mandy Rose. It's like I said to Q, if Nikita Lyons was the starting one, I'm pretty sure all the urban youths would be jumping on it. So.
But I think that they do have stuff like this.
Y'all be
it's
number
just
one
not
and number
as
two, wouldn't you?
extensive as Mandy Rose. Like, I feel like somebody said that Nikita Lyons was doing, like, she may have something like this going on too. It's
she I think she do something to promote her music. Ain't nobody trying to buy her music.
absolutely not, girl. Like, girl, I'm sorry. Ain't nobody here for that. But
nobody coming to see you, Nikita.
Oh, they come to see, they come to hear.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Actual factuals. I don't know. I'm really genuinely curious at this point to find out what her contract was. Not so much to, count her pockets or whatever, but to see is like, how much money is she really making if she's making more off of this? If that's true. Mm-hmm. If she's making more off of this than she was off her contract. That's bananas to me.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I'm like, because Charlotte has made a comment about the women being underpaid there. I mean, women underpaid in every job.
If Charlotte's making a comment about somebody being underpaid.
Yeah, so
how much y'all paying her?
Like, I don't know. I mean, you probably got some managers right now that probably make more than Mandy Rose, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? We just never know, And I'm not going to sit here and count and say, I mean, she doing better than me, period. I'm saying, but however, we necessarily don't know, and then that's probably a topic that you got that you got to look up for discussion about how these women are getting paid, where these women have to go out and do different things.
Supplement their income with something.
Yeah, we'll do something. The same thing with the WNBA. How they had to go over to, the same thing we got in the parts of Brittany Griner and stuff, when they had to go over to different countries, and they make more in a month than they would in the whole year for their salary, which is insane.
Crazy.
Which is insane. And I'm just like, that's crazy. And you gotta try to make a living,
That's the issue. I mean, you hear like just about everything now, where people have to have multiple streams of income, and we've tried to finesse it and make it sound like, oh, y'all grind hard. You have to have multiple streams of income to live, not just like to thrive, to live.
To live.
So I don't know. I hope it works out for her. It seems like she's doing fine without it. So
okay, so I'm gonna be like Prime and have a question. Does she go to?
No.
You
people been on it. They been waiting. They was just like, she going. You know where she going after this and blah blah blah.
And I was gonna ask. Be honest with you, like, if she's making money off this, right? Does she go like? Let me finish. Does she go to another wrestling company?
He got that no locked and loaded.
Yeah. Does she go to another wrestling company, or does she try to do like Candice Michelle and go do some porn?
First of all,
I feel like we jumped off the cliff. I don't know. But that's one thing. Why does she need to do?
She don't need to do
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Why she don't need to do nothing? But what's she doing now? She seems to be making a fine living off of that.
Yeah.
Now, if she does do a wrestling company, I can see her like doing the Impact.
Oh God!
Only reason I'm saying Impact, not because of Impact, whatever. I'm just saying.
I don't think Impact give a shit what she do, right?
Absolutely not.
You said what?
Impact probably won't give a shit what she do.
Well, that's not what I mean. I just meant like people go to Impact when they like focus on other stuff other than wrestling.
Yeah.
But they just still want to wrestle on. It's like they don't want to be real champion. They just want to wrestle on the side type of thing.
You don't want to get a job, but you want to be part of an after school club.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you want to still wrestle because you have the itch, but you kind of focused on other stuff. And you just kind of show up, wrestle for 2 or 3 days or whatever, and then you just go about your business and then come back on tape days. So
it really is like an after school club. They in a gym, so
I mean, ain't but 55 people there anyway.
So. I feel like 35 of them are crew.
But she has her own donut company too, though. So
Donut, you said?
Donuts?
Yeah. Her and Sonya Deville has their own donut company. They own donut.
That's an interesting
Come on.
business venture. I
Low
would
key,
not have guessed
low
that.
key would have got tried it. Low key would have got tried it. She gonna be fine regardless because financially she'll be fine. If she has a passion like I really want to wrestle, or I really want to do all this kind of stuff, then sure. But maybe it's just like okay, look, I can go ahead and do this and be fine.